Welcome everyone to Marvel Hub. This is DK Dynamite, and today we're going to be talking about the official reveal date for Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So shout out to We Got This Covered, who just reported on an official statement from Disney as to when the next slate of Marvel films will be revealed. So here's the official statement. The Walt Disney Studios will present a behind-the-scenes look at its blockbuster collection of upcoming films on Saturday, August 24th at 10 a.m. Fans will see what's on the drawing board for the acclaimed filmmakers at Walt Disney Animation Studios and Pixar Animation Studios, and get a peek at the exciting slate of live-action projects from Disney to Marvel Studios to Star Wars. As always, attendees will be treated to exclusive footage, special guest appearances, and more. So there we have it, a little later than we expected, but towards the end of August at D23 is when we will see the next slate of Marvel films for Phase 4 and beyond. Now, I do believe they're still referring to the next slate of films as Phase 4, but that could always change come D23. But it was either San Diego Comic-Con or D23 when Marvel reveals their next slate of movies. That was already known, since Kevin Feige himself has said that the Phase 4 Marvel projects would be revealed after Spider-Man Far From Home. And the reason people didn't really guess that is because we all assumed Far From Home was the beginning of Phase 4, but it does make sense to have the final film of 2019, for Marvel at least, to be the ending of Phase 3 versus starting a new phase with Far From Home and then having a giant gap between Far From Home and the next Marvel movie. Makes perfect sense. Spider-Man Far From Home is also Phase 3 because it essentially depicts the aftermath of Avengers Endgame, so essentially an epilogue to the massive culmination of a film that was Avengers Endgame. Now, aside from that, I also want to quickly go over this tweet from Roger Wardell, who has been right about literally everything that he's tweeted about. It almost seems like he's Kevin Feige at this point because he has a perfect track record. So earlier he tweeted out that the Fantastic Four rumor that's going around is totally false and they have enough on their plate already. Now, he recently reported on that Fantastic Four rumor and the fact that apparently there was a pitch made to Marvel by Peyton Reed himself, the director of Ant-Man, who's been wanting to direct a Fantastic Four movie for many years now and tried to get involved with the recent flop in 2015 and even the original movie back in, I believe it was 2006, whenever that movie came out. So apparently he's involved. He wants to do a 60s themed Fantastic Four movie, and it's apparently rumored for 2022. So they'll be entering the MCU a lot sooner than the X-Men or Mutants will be. So apparently that rumor is false. Now, the reason we even covered it anyway is because the source that actually reported on that little rumor is pretty reliable at this point in time. He reported on Catherine Langford being Morgan Stark in a future cutscene from Avengers Endgame, and also reported on some other accurate things from some previous Marvel movies. Also has a perfect track record, even though he's only reported on about 4 to 5 things. I'll leave a link to his information down below in the description as to what else he's covered correctly, but apparently he hasn't been wrong yet. But this may be his first slip up about Fantastic Four, since Roger Wardell definitely has never been wrong. So who knows, one of these guys could be wrong. They both could have bad information. We just have no idea what's going on with Fantastic Four at this point in time. But I do agree, they do have a lot on their plate for Phase 4 as we know it. So the films that we know for a fact are going to be included in this next slate of films are absolutely Doctor Strange 2, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, The Eternals, Black Panther 2, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, the films that we know are very likely to happen in Phase 4, but haven't really been spoken about too much just yet. For a reveal date or for casting details, we have Captain Marvel 2, Ant-Man 3, and Spider-Man 3. Now, Captain Marvel 2 obviously is inevitable. Captain Marvel made over $1 billion, just like Black Panther, just like Iron Man 3. So hopefully we get a fantastic sequel at some point in Phase 4 to really explore a little bit more of the cosmic side of the MCU going forward. So it seems like the MCU cosmic side of things will definitely be playing a large role for a couple of phases now. Hopefully setting up Galactus, Kang, time travel, a bunch of cool stuff. The Negative Zone maybe. They can go with so many cool plot lines if they cover the cosmic side of Marvel a little bit more. But in terms of Ant-Man 3, once again, up in the air right now. Nothing's been said just yet, but I do feel like Peyton Reed and Ant-Man do deserve a fitting end to a nice trilogy, and definitely could introduce some other things in Ant-Man 3 that can lead us into some other cool areas of the MCU for some future phases as well. But if anything, Peyton Reed deserves to do an Ant-Man 3 before he ever tackles a Fantastic Four movie. That would just make the most sense in my opinion. And I thought Ant-Man and the Wasp was a pretty good movie. Maybe not the best, maybe not as good as the first one, but still a good movie. Nice sequel, sets us up perfectly for Avengers Endgame, so he definitely deserves a sequel which focuses more on the quantum realm and more on some Ant-Man mythos, which haven't really been covered just yet in the MCU. But when it comes to Spider-Man 3, even though Spider-Man 2 hasn't come out yet, apparently it's been said behind the scenes that Sony does want a Spider-Man live-action movie released every 2 years. So 2017 was Homecoming, 2019 was Far From Home, so maybe we'll see Spider-Man 3 in 2021, which to me is pretty damn close, to be honest with you guys, and we really aren't expecting it. But I think come D23, Sony and Marvel may have already come up with a new deal with each other, so they'll be happy to announce a Spider-Man 3, or there's a very slim chance that Spider-Man 3 will be the last time we see Holland Spider-Man in the MCU, and then all of a sudden Sony takes him back. But I highly doubt that. I really don't think Sony would waste that opportunity with Marvel to keep making films together. So obviously Sony gets the distribution profit from these live-action Spider-Man films, while Disney profits in other ways from these collaborations. But there's no way they would waste Tom Holland and the new Spider-Man he's created for himself for the MCU. There's so much potential with him. He's so young, the point that they can keep doing these Spider-Man films, or the solo movies at least, for many years to come, and continuously do crossovers, continuously tease things, set up Norman Osborn, Sinister Six. There's so much they could do with the Spider-Man that I almost believe we'll have at least another trilogy and a half or something before we end up seeing a Miles Morales spin-off or some other Spider-Man spin-offs, which I believe Marvel could do very damn well as long as Sony allows them to. But let me know what you think of all this down below in the comment section. This has been DK Dynamite. Phase 4 will be revealed pretty soon, only about 2 months away before we see the official reveal of the next slate of MCU projects. Let me know what you want to see in Phase 4 down below in the comment section. This has been DK Dynamite. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn notifications on to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Marvel news and information. And peace out, everyone.